My name is Taylor Armstrong, and tonight I am your host for this week's episode of A Making Of. This is the show where we analyze low-budget student films and bring you exclusive behind-the-scenes content. On tonight's episode, we will feature the final part of A Red Letter Day. We also have special guests Rob Campbell and Alex Lennox, the stars of the film, and Mike Redekop, the man behind the scenes. Well, let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. I now present to you A Red Letter Day.
Pick up.
Hello?
Courtney. She's dead.
Who's dead? What?
She's dead. She's dead.
Kurt, who's dead?
She's dead.
Who is dead? Where are you right now?
Are you there? Kurt! Who is... Hello? I'm on my way. Bye.
Is this a joke? What are we doing here? Do you want to make out? Is that it? Is that why we're here?
Welcome back, everybody, to The Making Of. What an epic finale for that short film. That was the first half of A Red Letter Day. I'm now here joined with Rob Campbell, everybody. Rob, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Rob is one of the main stars in this film. Now, I do want to talk to you a little about your character. You play a character named Kurt. How did you convince yourself that you were the right guy for this role?
To be completely honest, I'm still not convinced I'm the right guy for the role. I knew I wanted to act in this film, but I was more volunteered to be Kurt. But like as I said, I like being on camera. It's fun for me. But the only thing I don't like about it is actually watching it afterwards, actually seeing it now. I do not want to see myself on camera.
Well, I thought you did a pretty good job.
Oh,
myself.
thanks.
Yeah. Now, after reading the script a few times, did you have any doubts about playing your role?
Well, I knew I would, so what I did is I would know enough about the script ahead of time to be prepared, but I didn't read too far ahead. Like when we were filming the first episode, or the first half, I didn't know anything that happened in the second half, just so that I didn't psych myself out. So I would always know enough to do the job, but not too much to kind of overcomplicate things.
Mm-hmm. And I know your character has got himself into a lot of hot water in this episode. How did you channel your anger into your character, and what did you do to overcome that challenge?
Well, honestly, a really good tactic is to just put yourself in the character's shoes. I just tried to picture what would I do if my sister had just been killed, if it looked like my best friend had done it. So that helped. But also, I had Mike to work with. I could tell he had been in front of a camera before. He knew what he was doing. And really, it just playing off each other's emotions, the anger, it just really helped.
Well, thank you very much for coming on the show tonight, Rob. Up next, we have the final part of A Red Letter Day. Check it out.
Isn't this fun?
No,
Why?
because we're staring at a lake. Whose idea of fun is, hey, let's go stare at a lake, because there's nothing better we could be doing with our lives?
At least we're together.
Okay, well now I feel like a dick, I'm sorry.
I'm going to kill you.
What?
Why did you kill her? You gonna kill me? Why?
Rose, I love you more than anything in this world, and I'm sorry that you feel the things that you feel, but this isn't a discussion. I'm not gonna end your life, but I'm always gonna be here for you.
Fred, look at my eyes. There's nothing there. I'm already dead on the inside.
That's not true. Your eyes are full of life.
If you keep telling yourself a lie, does it make it true?
She wanted to die. I looked in her eyes, and there used to be life, vibrance. But all I saw was the smoke from a candle long put out. How? Kurt, I didn't pull the trigger. I wasn't even there. Help me! Or maybe I'm losing my mind. Maybe I did kill her. Maybe I just let her die.
Kurt? Kurt, what is this?
Dead sister, girlfriend thinks you're a killer. Talk about a red letter day.
Kurt, please, just put the gun down. Kurt, please.
Do it. Do it.
Wow. I must say, welcome back to The Making, everybody. That concludes A Red Letter Day. I am now joined here today with Alex Lennox. Alex is actually the only living female character in A Red Letter Day. How are you doing today, Alex?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Now, I do have to ask you, what was it like playing your character in this film?
It was pretty fun. I mean, it was kind of challenging at first getting into the role because I've never played that kind of character before. And it's always challenging kind of channeling the emotions and putting it out into that character that way.
And you also did play a really big part in this episode. You brought a lot more tension to Kurt's situation, especially at the end when he had that huge meltdown. In your opinion, do you think the story would have been as intense if your character did not exist?
I think it would have still been intense, but Courtney's character definitely added a lot more intensity to the final scene, especially when his meltdown, like pointing the gun at her, himself, and Fred, it just definitely added more intensity to it. So I think it was better off that way.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, can you please explain how your character evolved between the first episode and the second episode?
Well, at the beginning, you only see Courtney as his girlfriend. So the whole I love you scene. But towards the end, you really see more of her and her influence on Kurt.
And how did your relationship between yourself and the crew members evolve?
At the beginning, everyone wasn't really used to the work habits of each other. So towards the end, I think the chemistry definitely built, and it was a lot better.
And now this is a little fun question for you, Alex. If you could change one thing about the film, what would you change?
I think I would change that if we could go into more detail about each of the characters and how they got to where they were. Because you don't know why Rose got to that point, or anyone else. But I mean, I guess that's the whole fun of a short story, is that you get to let your imagination run wild.
So a little bit more detail behind each character. All right. Thank you for joining today on our show, Alex. Up next, we do have some exclusive behind-the-scenes content we'd like to show you. So let's take a look, everybody.
I had a really good experience with this film. Mike, the writer, he was great, and when I read the script, I was kind of blown away, especially the second part, as to what would happen. And as soon as I read it, I kind of started visualizing things in my mind. As a director, I kind of knew what I wanted, and then kind of asked what he wanted, and then that helped in the editing process. And Mike and I looked it over, and he was like, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. So I thought it all came together quite well, and everyone worked great together. We got in my car, and we had me driving and Taylor in the back seat of the car with the camera on a tripod, and we followed the actor pretty much. We almost used it as like a big dolly shot in a car, and we had them run out of the house, and we just followed them down the street with the car.
Why'd you kill her? And then that's when it goes to looking possibly.
Welcome back, everybody. That was some exclusive behind-the-scenes content from A Red Letter Day. I'm now joined today with Michael Redcott. Mike is the man behind the camera for the behind-the-scenes. Mike, how are you doing today?
I'm excellent. Yourself?
I'm doing quite fabulous today. I have to ask you, what were your responsibilities behind the scenes? What did you exactly do?
Okay, well, mainly my responsibility was to capture what the cameras were capturing. So we get the action, you know, in front of the cameras, and it was really interesting.
The camera behind the camera.
Yeah, almost like Inception, yeah.
Almost like Inception.
Yeah.
Now, I did notice in the little behind-the-scenes sequence, you guys got in a little hot water there.
Yeah.
What happened? There's an officer got involved.
Yeah, an officer pulled us over while we were doing the one dolly shot. And what had happened was he drove by and noticed that we had a camera sticking out the back window. And he just pulled us over to make sure that we weren't filming strangers or little children or just being kind of creepy like that. So he saw like the 11 of us, and realized that we were legitimate filming a low-budget student film, and he let us go.
Mm-hmm. Now, what were some of the challenges you faced when you were filming behind the scenes? Did you have a setup of the different types of shots you wanted to get?
Well, that's interesting because actually I didn't. I just went with the wind. I would see like the director talking to a cameraman in this room, kind of talking about what kind of shots they want, and I kind of had to quickly ponder, well, do I want to film that? Or do I want to quickly get, you know, putting makeup on our talent? And I went with the makeup on that. Mm-hmm. You know, you just get the fun moments there.
Now, I have a little fun question for you.
Nice.
What could you not film?
What could I not film? Well, I guess there was nothing I could not film, but what I didn't want to film was like any kind of tension, like behind the scenes. If, you know, we weren't getting the shot exactly the first take or whatever and tensions were getting high, I wanted to make sure I didn't get any of that fluster. I just wanted to get the good, upbeat, you know, happy behind the scenes stuff.
You didn't want to get in front of the camera. You didn't want to mess with any of the production.
Yeah,
there.
exactly, yeah.
Well, Mike, thank you very much for coming out
It was
to the
an
show
honor.
today. The behind the scenes looked like a really good skit. This concludes of our show for the making of, everybody. My name is Taylor Armstrong. Have a good night.